What will the future require of our children? Certainly, creativity, innovation, and imagination rank high on the list, and much more to be sure. The question is, are we, as educators, and indeed all citizens who care about the development of our youth, prepared to pave a road to the future development which will offer our students the best opportunity to succeed? On the 7th and 8th of May, the MSU Riley Center in Meridian, Mississippi lived up to its billing as the place where education and the arts meet as it hosted the Mississippi Alliance for Arts Education's annual Arts Front and Center Forum for 2010. Administrators, teachers, students, employees from state agencies, leaders of community arts and cultural institutions, parents, and community and business leaders were given the opportunity to plan for the future success of our youth. Forum participants were challenged to discover creative and innovative solutions in education that will support the mission of the MAAE to rise above the roadblocks to success by lifting our children's spirits both in and through the arts. The Arts Front and Center Forum offered presentations, demonstrations, and activities to help participants raise their awareness and appreciation of the impact of an arts education on a child's life. Participants also gained new insights as to how schools can become more involved in arts education. The forum helped to broaden parent and community understanding of ways to get involved in investment and support of arts education. Dr. Marlyn Martin, MAAE President, and Dr. Charlotte Tabarrow, MAAE Executive Director and Education Director at the MSU Riley Center, gave introductory remarks and introduced Dr. Jack Tucci, Dean of the MSU Meridian campus.
What I think art really does for children is it provides an inclusive environment. It's proven when you look at the children that are engaged in activities at school, outside of the classroom, engaged in the arts, they're the ones who finish. They're the ones who graduate with their high school diploma. They're the ones most likely to go on and succeed with higher education. They're more easily socialized into groups. They have a better understanding. Arts provides the foundation for understanding our history. Art provides the foundation for understanding our communication with one another.
How are you living?
I'm living large.
Thank you. That was actually very good.
John Abadili, Program Manager of National Partnerships with the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C., spoke about the 7 national trends in arts education.
We say the arts education delivery system. There's an assumption in that, and that is that if you step back far enough and look at how kids are learning and what they're experiencing, that you can include pre-K, you can go all the way up to 16, right? You can include in school, you can include after school. And in some way, all these actors and instructors and the parents and everybody, the administrators, whether in the arts or in schools, they're all playing some kind of role. You know, they're all leaving a little bit of stake on the experience of that kid, in that community, from the time he gets up in the morning to the time he goes to bed. And so what we're proposing, I think, in this is, what if we all start to think a little bit like there's a system here, and it includes in school and after school. And we can start to think about how they're connected and how they're working together. We can ask questions like, are they working in opposition to each other? Are they making each other's jobs harder if we're not aligning these systems? So that's I think, the big idea in this.
Participants discussed these trends in breakout sessions and then came together to share their ideas and join in further discussion.
To answer the first question, I was thinking of number 7 because I think he also, when he was teaching kind of off the cuff in a way, he was talking about where's the proof. And of course he mentioned the testing being, it's hard to evaluate that based on people's backgrounds and what they bring to the table. But you know it's real, you know there's a need. Number 7 jumped out to me, and now I'm wondering what action do we have to do to prove that it makes a difference?
Our superintendent is very, very supportive of the arts, and so I don't see it, you know, like these other districts do. And the arts have become so important in our school because from the top down we have that support. So I think that's where you get that disconnect to go away, is that you have that support, but it's got to start at the top.
Creativity, many times they're afraid that the rules are either not going to be followed or they're going to be tossed out the window, or you're pulling this from somewhere and you can't justify what you've done. Yeah. And that many times is the problem that when you start saying creativity or you start thinking outside the box, well, people get very uncomfortable with that because they don't know where this is coming from. And so sometimes if you just change the wording a little bit, it sounds like, well, people are following the rules and they're just taking these rules and they're just doing more with it.
I think we need to expand our thinking on what does creativity mean.
I think classroom teachers too need to have some interaction with the arts teachers. Their arts specialists had a planning time where they were available to the classroom teachers so they could show them how they could use music in science and help them develop, units of integrating the arts into what they do.
I think everybody, needs to be reminded of how much we actually use creative thinking skills, not just critical thinking skills, but creative thinking skills on a day-to-day basis.
Some ideas that we had was to use technology to get the arts and communication out to people. So, someone said, well, they've got internet and that sort of thing at home, and some people said, yeah, but if they don't, they have an iPhone. This is really, the youth are really embracing technology, of course, a lot quicker than other generations.
Liberty and justice. Bring it in. For all.
Each year, the MAAE honors teachers, students, parents, administrators, communities, and schools by recognizing their contributions to the education and advocacy support of the arts across Mississippi. A major goal of every Arts Front and Center Forum is to showcase student talent and achievement. A dynamic display of student-created visual arts was on exhibit throughout the two-day event, while participants were also treated to several students gifted in the performing arts.
Thank you.